Think we'll see a close decision, but instead, I expect a one-sided masterclass performance from Ilia El Matador. I think he's going to systematically break down Max Holloway, leaving no doubt in anyone's mind as to why he is considered one of the most unstoppable fighters in the UFC today. And fans might be caught up with the excitement around Max Holloway's resurgence or whatever, but once those cage doors close, Ilia El Matador is going to remind everyone why he is the reigning king of the featherweight division, and most importantly, why he is unstoppable. It's just inevitable. Ilia El Matador Topuria's potential, as well as his trajectory in the sport right now, kind of just feels unstoppable. And if he goes out there and delivers another statement win in Abu Dhabi, then we, as current MMA fans, are real life, in real time, witnessing not only a featherweight GOAT, but the greatest of all time, period. And honestly, it just seems inevitable. To kick rocks, because instead, I believe that Ilia El Matador Topuria is going to put a masterclass of a performance against Max Holloway, and he's going to systematically break Holloway down, whether it's on the feet or on the ground, and he's going to make it clear to everyone why he's one of the most dangerous and unstoppable fighters in the UFC right now. So, mark my words. Come fight night, Ilia El Matador Topuria will remain the undefeated, undisputed featherweight champion of the world, and he's going to do it in dominant fashion when he goes out there and beats Max Blessed Holloway this Saturday night. I am predicting a brutal KO finish from Ilia El Matador in the second to third rounds. And if anyone was gonna beat him, it would have been Volkanovski, but I just don't think that Max Holloway has the tools in order to pull it off. I've got Ilia El Matador Topuria by KO against Max Holloway.
Ole, 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 Ilia, Ilia, ole, 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 Ilia, Ilia. Guys, it finally happened just as I said it would. And Ilia El Matador Topuria went out there on October 26th and did what I expected him to do and finished Max Blessed Holloway. And I'm not here to gloat, but come on, I told you so. Max Holloway had not yet faced a power puncher like Ilia El Matador at this stage of his career, and I've always said and I've always felt that once he did, it would be lights out. And what happened? Ilia went out there and turned him into Sleeping Beauty. And now that it's all said and done, the big question that remains is Ilia El Matador the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world right now? Short answer, yes he is. But let's pause to appreciate that UFC 308 was just absolutely amazing from start to finish. From bottom to top to bottom. And from the early prelims to the headlining bouts, this card was absolutely peak action, with every fight keeping us at the edge of our seats. But with that being said, let's get right in to the breakdown. And if you're new to the channel, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share so you can help me reach 1,500 subscribers by May. I'll deeply appreciate you. And make sure you join the official UFC Discord, link in the description. Alright, so look. For this particular main card breakdown, I'm gonna start from the top and work my way to the bottom, because this main event between Ilia El Matador Topuria and Max Holloway is just too juicy to wait for last. So, with that being said, let's get right into it. Ilia El Matador Topuria, the undefeated, undisputed featherweight champion of the world, has just completed his first ever title defense against the legend that is Max Blessed Holloway. And he did it all in the third round, becoming the first ever fighter to knock out Max Blessed. And, you know, in the first two rounds, we saw Max Holloway looking pretty sharp, landing some impressive counter strikes and keeping his range well. But the power discrepancy was just so massive, you know? Holloway's punches, while he was landing them clean, didn't really seem to affect El Matador that much, while every shot that Ilia landed had a visible impact on Max Blessed. And in the first round, we saw Ilia even secure a takedown while not causing any damage, but to show Max Holloway that he was prepared to control every part of this fight no matter where it went. By round 3, Ilia El Matador turned up the heat, landing a huge punch that stunned Max Holloway, and though Blessed tried to rally, the power gap was way too much, and Ilia El Matador Topuria's shots were just on a completely different level. Ultimately, El Matador finished him off with a lead left hook to the dome piece, and followed it up with some heavy and precise ground and pound. Absolutely amazing win, and honestly, this just reinforces what I've been saying for so long. If Ilia El Matador Topuria can beat Max Holloway, then there is no one in the featherweight division that is going to dethrone him anytime soon. And you know, I really think he should consider moving up to 155 in order to challenge Islam Makhachev once he beats both Alexander Volkanovski and Diego Lopez. And you know, as for that Volkanovski rematch, I really do see this ending the same exact way, but with this time, El Matador securing the knockout a lot faster than he did previously. And as for Diego Lopez, I really do think he's super skilled, and I've got high hopes for him in the near future, but I just don't see him beating Ilia El Matador anytime soon. I think Ilia is just too balanced, and he's just too much of a threat on the feet with his sharp and crisp boxing and his elite striking for Diego Lopez to overcome just quite yet. So, Dana, get us a jet to Spain, baby. We're coming for Islam Makhachev. Now for the co-main event. My namesake Khamzat Chimaev did what he does best and dominated Robert Whittaker, submitting him in the first round, even dislocating Whittaker's jaw in the process. Look, Bobby Knuckles' takedown defense is among the best of the best, but he has never fought a wrestler such as Khamzat Bors, whose relentless grappling style is perfectly adapted for mixed martial arts. Robert Whittaker's instinct helped him survive early on, but Khamzat eventually took his back and locked in that jaw crank and forced Whittaker to tap due to his jaw dislocating. And you know, you could see Robert Whittaker in absolute agony as his jaw shifted under Khamzat's grip, and honestly speaking, anyone would have tapped in that type of situation. But look, this victory solidifies Khamzat Bors' spot in the middleweight top 3, and he is now looking at a title shot, possibly facing either Sean Strickland or Dricus du Plessis next. And if Dricus du Plessis can win against Sean Strickland, this can be an exciting stylistic matchup between both Khamzat Bors and Dricus du Plessis. And you know, it's a good sign to see if Dricus du Plessis can withstand Khamzat Bors' early pressure and make it into the later rounds. But at the end of the day, absolutely phenomenal win for the Bors, and it was really good to see him back and thriving after all the criticism from all the non-believers. And like I've said in previous videos before, Khamzat Chimaev is a generational talent, regardless of activity or not, and he is destined to hold that middleweight strap sooner rather than later. It's just a matter of time. Moving on to the featured bout. Magomed Ankalaev defeats Alexander Rakic by decision. And you know, Rakic started off round 1 strong, using his range and landing big and effective calf kicks, especially since Magomed Ankalaev isn't too keen on checking calf kicks whatsoever. And in round 2, Magomed Ankalaev adapted well, moving aggressively into Rakic's range and landing significant strikes to take control of the fight. Ankalaev pressed on, using really good clinch work and clean shots in order to secure the decision win. And you know, this victory should solidify a title shot for Magomed Ankalaev against Alex Pereira. And honestly speaking, I think Alex Pereira's striking, especially that lead left hook, could give him the edge in a fight between him and Magomed Ankalaev. But Ankalaev will certainly test Alex Pereira's grappling defense, which could be very pivotal in Alex Pereira's legacy in the division if he can get it done against Magomed Ankalaev. Now for the featherweight bout between Leroy Murphy versus Dan Ige. And Leroy Murphy has officially extended his undefeated record to 15-0 with a solid decision win over Dan 50K Ige. And look, Dan Ige came out aggressively in round 1, landing some big shots and even dropping Leroy Murphy momentarily, but Murphy recovered quickly and maintained his composure, using his range as well as his takedowns effectively in round 2 to shift the momentum. Round 3 was close with a lot of scrambles and some back and forth exchanges, but at the end of the day, Leroy Murphy did enough to get himself the decision win. And afterward, for his post-fight speech, Leroy Murphy called out Josh Emmett, which in my opinion is smart, since a win over Josh Emmett would position him a lot closer to title contention. And finally, for the first fight of the evening, we had Shara Bullet Magomedov versus Arman Petrosyan. And look, what a highlight reel finish from Shara Bullet Magomedov, because he delivered a stunning second round knockout against Arman Petrosyan with a double spinning back fist. And look, since joining the UFC, there's been a lot of hype around Shara Bullet as this creative, dynamic striker, and this fight lived up to those exact expectations. In the first round, and some of the second, Arman Petrosyan was landing some solid shots, but Shara Bullet's aggression, as well as his creativity, made all the difference. And that double spinning back fist was something that we kind of really never seen before, and it was the absolute makings of a highlight reel finish that probably made a statement. And for his post-fight speech, he called out the one and only, the style bender Israel Adesanya. And let's be honest with ourselves right now, that is not happening nowhere in the near future. And a more realistic and a lot more entertaining matchup, in my opinion, would be one against him and Kevin Holland. I mean, these two have been going back and forth on social media lately, and this would honestly be a very good test for Shara Magomedov right now in the near future. But all in all, UFC 308 was nothing short of spectacular. From Shara Bullet's double spinning back fist to Hamza Borza's brutal jaw-breaking submission, as well as Ilia El Matador Topuria's definitive title defense, this card was a thrill ride from start to finish, and each fight offered something unique. And it's cards like these that remind us why MMA is such an exciting sport and why it's the best sport in the world. And like I said before, and now I'm saying again, the Ilia El Matador Topuria Supremacy reigns supreme. But that's all I've got to say for this video. Let me know in the comment section below. What do you guys have to say about UFC 308? And is this the best card of 2024? Let me know in the comment section below. But that about wraps up the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Ciao.